Are you getting tired of the winning? I mean, are you getting? I mean, we talk about being deliciously fatigued by keeping track of everything. Do people get tired of hearing us just revel in DEI gone, birthright citizenship gone, Green New Deal gone, gender sanity, climate sanity? I mean,
I said that yesterday repeatedly. Are you tired of winning? Yeah. It's like it's a dream that we don't want to wake up from. Yeah. There's so many, and he sat down last night with kind of a freewheeling conversation with Sean Hannity, and I like that Sean asked him about, look, why pardon people who assaulted cops? Mm-hmm. And it's a fair question. It's a reasonable question. And his answer was a reasonable one. His answer was, okay, it's what I basically was saying. Yep. How long are you going to incarcerate somebody? I mean, and make no mistake, their lives were destroyed. So in other words, this isn't just about being in a nice, cushy jail. And incidentally, anything but. They were shuttled from one prison to another. They had all their. I mean, the way these people have been treated. Let's face it, they're in a different category now, a different class of prisoner. Now, to the left and to people who hate Trump and people who hate Trump supporters, that's perfectly okay. Oh, that's normal. That's all right. They tried to overthrow the government,
they're
Mark.
Monsters. They're monsters.
Democracy was almost it was in the breach.
The country
was
going to hang a thread.
Right. They had a guillotine or a noose. I mean, this is all the hysteria. And the gig is up. I mean, it's over. And some of these judges now are freaking out. I saw one headline this morning, judges push back against Trump's pardon, undoing years of the work they did. Oh, yeah. You put years of your work as a judge to destroy the lives of people, some of whom, let me clarify, many of whom walked into the wrong area. Yep. They just were walking because that conviction was parading. The parading conviction, you went to jail. Some of those January 6ers went to jail. So when he asked Trump about, I think I asked Julie Kelly yesterday, and if you missed my interview with Julie Kelly, we have it posted on YouTube. I hope you follow my YouTube channel. We're diving our brave new world. We're back into Facebook and Instagram and X and everything else. And Julie Kelly, who's the author of January 6th, and she's on Substack, and she's as good as anybody in covering this. Mm-hmm. You know, she pointed out the way these prisoners have been regarded. It's never been done before. We've never had this happen this way before, and and many of these people they're not afforded due process. So she confirmed to me what the Axios reporting said, and the reporting from Axios was that as the Trump team was laboring over case by case, well, this person was parading, well, this person picked up Nancy's podium, this person broke a window, and finally, Trump's position was, and I certainly won't say the word, but I will say blanket, pardon them all. Yep. Blanket, let's just do a blank. We're done here, and let's move on. And Julie confirmed that, which means Trump's position was, you know what? Some of these people probably did bad things.
Are there a couple of people who, by virtue of attack, who might have, in a perfect world, deserved a little more than 4 years of jail time? Sure. Okay, fine. But there's scads of people in the George Floyd riots and the BLM riots, and I know this is sort of both sidesism, but
it's true.
Who got nothing? Who got nothing?
You're right. That's right. They got away with it.
They were actually heroes. Isn't it funny to watch the media culture, Mike? In the other day, I guess night before last, when he came out with the tech guys with that Stargate healthcare AI thing, which is just fascinating. I'm excited by that. You phrased it exactly right. AI still scares the bejabbers out of me, but is it a possible force for good in so many ways? You bet. And then after that, he said, okay, I'll take some questions. And the very first questions were, harumph, harumph, President Trump. You've said it's never good to attack a cop. How dare you pardon these people? Suddenly, the media culture cares about cops. They didn't care so much about police when George Floyd rioters were beating their brains in.
And if you look at, and if we're going to talk about pardons, you can't gloss over what Grandpa Joe did with Fauci and Liz Cheney and all the rest of them. For crying out loud, these people, if you accept the premise that Anthony Fauci was complicit with China and we did gain of function and everything else, if you accept that premise, I would argue what Fauci did, and I don't know that he did, but I'm just saying if you accept that, that's a heck of a lot worse than anything anybody did on January 6th.
So you're talking about subverting democracy? How about what Liz Cheney and this committee did in their breathless zeal to destroy a president? That was a far greater stain and attack on democracy than the admittedly bad act of storming the Capitol.
And he not only has his lifelong pension, I believe he still has security. How do we feel about Trump ripping the Secret Service away from John Bolton? How do you feel about that?
Okay,
it's not my favorite thing.
No, it's not my. And John Bolton immediately went, whining about that. And my first thought was, relax, John. Iran joins America in no longer caring about you. That having been said, his point was, I'm a target. I've been a tough anti-terror guy, which he has back when we liked him. And if it has been custom to, I mean, who gets it? We know ex-presidents do, ex-vice.
Well, that's a good question. Who's entitled to it?
No, so if that's been the rule, I don't want it yanked from John Bolton if every other John Bolton has gotten it for 50 years. But by the same token, there's another question. How many people? Secret Service is, I think we've learned they're a little spread thin, haven't we? So in part of Secret Service reform, we got to figure who gets protection and who doesn't. Maybe every last hanger on and staffer in every presidency, maybe the line is placed somewhere. And so I don't know. Does it look vindictive? Is your problem that it looks vindictive because Bolton hates Trump?
Yeah, well, and I don't want anything happening to anybody. I mean, I want everybody to be safe. And some of these people, look, I already got in enough trouble over the pastor, so I'm not going to get in trouble again today.
The bishop. I thought about you.
Yeah,
I know. Did you see the tour she went on The View and CNN?
Look, hey, Mark, come on. Mark, how dare you? Every good woman of the cloth has to go to The View. Come on, a woman of God. There's nothing more spiritual than sitting down with Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar. I mean, if that doesn't expose who she is, then nothing does.
Real quick,
now let's talk about
before you go on the vindictiveness beat. This is just 30 seconds. Yeah. What do you think about them yanking the portrait of General Milley off the wall of the Pentagon?
Love it. Love it. Take them all down. Take them all down. I just take out the pliers and the hammer and pull those portraits off the wall. I think you got to take down Biden's. All right. Incidentally, let's talk grace. Did you see Biden's note to Trump in the desk? Now, first of all,
speaking of custom,
30 seconds on this.
Outgoing presidents leave a little note. But wait a minute. When it crosses parties, it's charming. There have been some.
But wait a minute. Here's how this was uncovered, though. This is hysterical. Right. Peter Doocy, who is now reporter in residence at the White House. I mean, he gets to ask all the questions. It's a whole new dawn for that young man. He's just the happiest guy going because he gets all. And he says to Trump in the Oval Office the other, have you looked in the desk to see if there's a letter? From Biden? Have you seen the letter? And Trump says, this is on TV. I don't know. Is there a letter in here? He opens the drawer, and there's the letter. Peter Doocy made Trump. So Trump never opened his desk, the Resolute desk, and there was the letter, and it was charming, and it was gracious. And but I got to talk about. Well, but I got to talk about the letter. Right. The letter was, I'm praying for you and your family. May America shine. I love you. Now,
did he write it? Did he write it?
Well, but do you write that to Hitler?
I know.
Do you write that to a fascist?
I know.
I mean, this is what we mean about they never meant it when they were so they couldn't have meant it, or you don't mean it now. And here's the thing: if you think he's a fascist, well, then you don't need to leave him a letter. Who cares about tradition? Don't leave a letter to the. All right, now let's go down this Hive rabbit hole. Yes. The Hive Bakery. Yes. Lord in heaven above. I did a little bit of a deep dive into that woman who owns it in Flower Mound. And you and I got some mentions all over the country because you talked about it, I talked about it. I saw people posting, oh, Mark Davis at 6:60 a.m. The Answer talked about this. Mike Gallagher and Mark talked about it. This is the lady, the Trump-hating, far-left loony who's got a bakery in Flower Mound, Texas. Now, Mark, is Flower Mound, am I crazy? Is it not a conservative community?
In southern Denton County, pretty conservative stretch of territory, yes.
Well, she hates apparently the people who live there because she said the MAGA people here are garbage. They're not fit to lick our spoons. We've got the best bakery in Texas, and you're all scum because people were asking her to bake MAGA cakes and everything. But I guess she perceived that to be a goof. What if it wasn't a goof? What if they really wanted?
I thought about this some yesterday. For those who don't know, we're all hopped up about bakeries in conservative land because everybody wanted the conservative bakers to make the gay wedding cake or the trans reveal cake or blah, blah, blah. And the bakers didn't want to do it. And we said, hey, you got the right not to do that. So flip the coin. Does the liberal baker have the right to refuse a MAGA cake? You and I would say, yes, that's a free speech right too. So if they get 50 orders for MAGA cakes at the Hive Bakery where they got rainbow flags and Beto stickers, does somebody really want them to do it? Or is it just a bit? Are they just trolling? I don't know.
Well, how do you know? I mean, you're in the customer service business. If you work at a Publix or a Winn-Dixie and somebody walks in and buys items,
but I'd be suspicious. I mean, but it's not Publix. It's not Winn-Dixie.
But it's not her. It's not her role.
I know.
It's not. Somebody wants to order a dozen Trump cupcakes. Well, anyway.
But don't you kind of think if you put on? Let's say you and I run the Lib Bakery, the pretty famous Lib Bakery, and we get 10 orders for MAGA cakes. Aren't you going to think, okay, this is a bit? They're not. They just want us to make the cake, and then they're going to stiff us.
Well, ask the lady who owns the bakery what she thinks of the guy who doesn't want to bake cakes for a same-sex wedding couple.
Yep, good point.
She'll. I guarantee you, she believes that baker is discriminating for not doing so.
Exactly.
So I don't think you get to sit around and say, but here's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Check out her social media posts. Oh my Lord, this woman!
I've seen them. I mean,
you have not just over recently. I mean, like, how about people who she doesn't like, who complain about? She was complaining about customers who don't like the style of icing she had. In other words, stuff that was completely unrelated to this controversy.
Oh. Just seems testy.
Testy? Not since One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest have we seen testy like this. This woman, and this is the thing. It's beyond politics, Mark. Let's face it. Some of these people are truly, and I'm not saying this to be pejorative here, they're truly mentally ill. There's a mental health issue.
It's got to be exhausting to go through life that way.
But there's also something wrong with some of these people, and I have to respectfully say, ma'am, you might make good cupcakes. Get thee to a counselor, go to your pastor, go to a rabbi. Find some counseling, find some therapy, because there's something wrong with her. She was mad about, apparently some customer complained about what time they closed, and she was like, F you, I can close when I want, and I'm a baker.
Well, that's another talk show. Did somebody, let's say they close at 6, did somebody walk in at 5:58 with a really complex order?
I mean, it's quite the adventure. Look, you want some fun reading? Go into the history of the Hive Bakery and Flower Mound social media posts, and you will go right down that rabbit hole. So, my goodness. All right, well, troops on the way to the border.
What's not to love?
What's not to love? Elon Musk's a Nazi. The talk show gods continue to smile on us, my friend. And incidentally, brave new world for me today. Yeah. You're a creature of habit. I know how you are about the way you do things in your studio.
What do you do?
For 20 years, I've had like 19 monitors.
Oh, it's like a space shuttle cockpit.
I have to have my text messages up displayed. I have to have my this. I have to have my. Well, they've talked me into going to one monitor total.
Oh my!
And I'm doing it today. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared to death.
Well,
I'm in a sweat.
Is smoke going to be pouring off that screen because you got so much loaded into it? How are you?
I've got like 7 screens, but what they've introduced me to are the concept of tabs. I didn't even know about tabs.
Where you just
you can tab from click, 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 and you go to one screen. So I'm doing it all today. The show's going to be a disaster. I can't concentrate. I'm shaking. I've got a rash on my forehead. The first time in 20 years I've used one monitor for everything.
I have an
but,
idea.
you know.
Let's see how the show's going to go. Middle of the show.
Yeah, Mike, this is Bill in Philadelphia. I just want to know.
Eric, I can't get the screen to work. Eric, I can't see the monitor.
Do you like Trump? Is this a good thing, Mike? I'd like your analysis.
Tracy, where's my OneNote? Tracy, where's my OneNote? I can't see it, Tracy.
Are you okay?
So anyway,
Tracy, I can't. Yeah, that's the way it's going to go. We're in trouble here. So pray for me.
I love you.
I'm so brave. I'm so brave. Love you too.